All right, we're going live today. Today, I'm going to design some Glowforge files, and this is just my way of how I do it. There's thousands of different ways that you can, well, not thousands. There's a ton of different ways that you can do this. I, for the most part, will use Adobe Illustrator, and so I'm just going to show you how I do it. So let's see, we can get started here in just a second. So right now I just have my new document presets open so that I can show you what document size I use to keep in mind for when I am designing the Glowforge files. Looks like we have a couple people in here, so that's cool. So I'll just wait a second. Let me just tweet out that I'm going live real quick. Let's see. Bear with me for one moment. Let's see. All right. Okay, I've tweeted that out, so hopefully we'll get a couple people in here. All right. So what I typically do is I will make all of my file format to be 19.5 inches by 11 inches because that is the maximum size that the Glowforge will cut. The basic Glowforge bed will cut it, and the Glowforge Plus, that's the bed size, and the Glowforge Pro, which is the one that I have with the pass-through slot, that is the basic cut area of it as well. However, it kind of has an unlimited height because it has the pass-through slot and then you can feed material through. But you still are limited to only that 19.5 width cut area. But so we'll click on this and then we'll click create. And it's just going to take us up a second. And so now we are here in our document at the correct size. So we can zoom out a little bit so we can kind of see what's going on. All right. I'm not sure exactly what I want to design. I think I want to do a like a tiered tray set maybe. I have been working on a few different ones recently. I've been working on a Christmas one for some Christmas in July, so maybe I'll open up that document and we can work on that. I always save my document first thing. That's always the first thing I'll do. And so if we're going to do a tiered tray set, I'm just going to make some of the basic shapes of the tiered tray. So we'll just do a circle. And right now the size doesn't super matter. So I know I want a circle one, and I am going to also want a rectangle. Well, yeah, I want a rectangle about that size. And then I want a square. Oh, you can hear the dog barking in the background. What's up, Katie? How are you? Hope you're doing well. I am just creating some basic shapes for a tiered tray set. I figured those are pretty popular right now, and maybe that's what we could work on today. So I'm just doing the basic backer sets right now. Oh man, the dog really wants to be heard, I think. Hopefully the dog's barking isn't too crazy. So, oh yeah, what are you working on right now? I do a 19.5 by 11 artboard. If I change this up here back to inches, we can see 11 inches tall by 19.5. And I do that just because I easily forget like how big I can make my designs. So for me, having that like visual constraint, I know I have to keep it within the white area. As my fingers are covering the camera. Because otherwise I'll just forget. Because there's been so many times where I've designed something and it's like way too big, and then when I shrink it down, it doesn't quite look as good as it had, and then so I have to end up redesigning it or something. But okay, I want to do a tag as well. Those are very popular in the farmhouse set. And let's see if I can just kind of eyeball this. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let me see. So what do I need to do? I need to make I think I need to make a triangle. Oops, that's not what I want to do. I want the pen tool. Silly me. I don't know if this is going to work like how I'm thinking it's going to work. That's like a super extreme angle. It's too much. I think also it's just too tall. Like right there maybe. And I think also this is too wide. So basically I've lost it. I've missed the mark on all accounts. I think that looks, I don't know. I think that still might be a little too steep. What are we thinking? Like right there? And then make this a little less wide? What are we thinking? Oh, you don't think it's too tall or too wide? Am I just being overly critical? Let me stretch it back out a bit. I am sometimes my own worst enemy. So let me start that over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this shape, this triangle that we made, and I'm going to click and hold. Oh, yeah, you can put more on it if it's bigger. That's true. So I've selected this little triangle shape. I'm going to hold Option. I'm on a Mac. And while I'm holding that, I'm going to drag out, and it makes a copy. And if I hold Shift, it will keep it on that same plane. Well, unless you go like crazy. And then so I'll release everything. And then I am going to right click it. And I'm going to go to Transform. And I'm going to go to Reflect. And I want to reflect it vertically. So I'll click OK. And then now I can just bring this to this corner. And then now we have our basic shape. Right? Except obviously we have these things that we don't want. So we are going to have to cut it away. Also, Katie, thank you so much for being here. I definitely appreciate it. I know it's pretty late over on the West Coast or East Coast. So I think what I can do is if I group the two triangles together and then I select it all, I can go to my Pathfinder options and I think I can click minus front and then that has given us our tag shape. So I don't know. I guess it does look a little stumpy. So maybe I'll drag this up just a little bit. So I don't know. What are we thinking, Katie? You can be the deciding factor. Bring it up some more or leave it? So now what I want to do is I just want to make this circle that goes on the tag. And that's also, I know for sure that circle's too big. You think leave it? Put your hole in it. All right. Well, this dog is barking like crazy. All right. So that will be about the size of the tag. Let me just align everything and make sure it's going good. And then what I am going to do is I'm going to offset that circle. So I'm going to come up to Object. While that circle is selected, go to Path. And I'm going to go to Offset Path, except I'm in inches still, and I don't want that. For when I'm doing stuff for the Glowforge, and I know I'm going to like offset the paths and stuff like that, I prefer to work in points because it's just a smaller margin of going up and down rather than inches. And so that's what I typically do. So now we'll select this again, go to Path, Offset Path, and see, there we go. So 10 seems like a bit much. I think we'll do 8. And I'll click OK. And so now for me, this tag base shape is done. And so I'm going to do is I'm going to, oops, I did not mean to move that. You always work in inches, Katie? Yeah. Typically, I do also work in inches. Like when I'm going to go to change the size of these, I'll use inches. But I don't know what it is, just about the offsets, and it's only with the offsets or working with type. I prefer the points measurement. But then when I design stuff for 3D printing, that's all in millimeters. So one sec, I need to go let the dog out, I think. All right, I apologize. I had to let the dog out to go to the bathroom. So I think I actually want to make this outer circle a little bit bigger. So I'm just going to do that process again. And I'm at 8, so I think I will just keep it at 10. It seems just like a little bit better. And then, so now what I'm going to do, like I was saying before, since this shape is basically done for me, I'm going to start color coding it for how I know that I want it to cut out on Glowforge. So I'm going to have this outer shape be a red stroke line. I always do my cut lines as red. And then this inner circle is going to be red as well, because I only want that inner portion cut out. I don't want a big old hole in the middle, because then we'll lose that middle piece. So for this outer circle, I can leave it black if I want to, but I'm going to score that. And so for all my score lines, I either make them green or blue. My favorite color is blue, so I typically do blue. Yeah, Katie, I know. Sometimes when like I've seen people sell Glowforge files, and I'm like, those files are not import ready. Like there's a lot of cleanup you have to do. So I'm gonna select these inner circles, and I'm gonna drag and make a copy of it. And then I'm gonna group these, and I'm just gonna make both of those red, because I want this inner piece to cut out, and I want the outer piece to cut out. And so now, because we have this blue line, we have a place of where we know to glue it on. Now, really, this blue score line is kind of unnecessary, because you can just line up the middle cuts, but I just like to have it there just, to be safe, because you never know. All right, so our base tag is done. And let's see, what size did this end up being? Oops, gotta go back to inches. So right now, oh, that's pretty close. It's at 5. So I'm going to just drag this back over here real quick, and then group that all. And I want this to be 5 inches in height total. So I do 5 inches and hit enter. So it was very close. I just wanted to really make sure it's right. Okay. So now we can do a couple things here on this point. I don't always do the fake shiplap on the back, but I do kind of like it. So it's just depending about how many signs I want shiplap and how many I don't. Do I worry about the curve on the top piece, on that hexagon frame? I had some stuff that didn't line up where I expected based on materials. Are you talking about like this gap up here? If you are talking about this upper part, that is a worry sometimes. So like with keychains, I tend to put the whole cutout down. Oh, where it would be smaller or larger than the scored line. I haven't had that issue, Katie. I don't know. At least I don't think I've run into that issue. But one thing you could do is the score line, you could just make it like literally 1 point smaller than the cutout piece. That way you have the general position of where to glue it down, but then you know for a fact that that score line is going to be correct. But what I would do is, for all my stroke lines, I always make sure that it's on this aligned stroke to center, and I've never really had a problem. So maybe if some of the things are not acting like you think it will be, maybe double check this setting. But yeah, you could totally try where you just, since we made this part is 10 points big, you make this like either like 9.8 or even smaller or something, just so you get that general kind of layout. I don't know, but now I'm gonna like second guess everything I make now that I think about it. Let's see. I think I for sure want the circle to be a shiplap background, and so we can do this a couple different ways. We can, yeah, Katie, it's all your fault. Gosh, now I'm gonna be so stressed out doing anything. No, it's fine. Totally fine. All right, so what we can do is we'll make this a solid color just to represent. So we can do this a couple ways. We can engrave it, or we can do kind of like a fake engrave kind of a thing where you do like 3 thin lines very close together, and it gives the appearance of an engraved section. However, when I've tested that out personally in the past, I didn't really like how it looked because you can still see that like definition. So I don't know, it's up to you guys. I just prefer to make a very thin box and do it that way. It does add a little bit of extra time. So if you are like super trying to, cut down on time there, maybe go for that. But I will show you how to do both ways. And so this is going to be an engrave, so I'll leave that black. However, let me change this to a cut color so that I don't confuse myself, because that has happened many times when I've designed files. I end up confusing myself, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? Let's get this about there. Then we can grab these points. Okay, so we have our first thing. Let's see. I think I want like 4 sections. Like, I know this looks crazy, but I'm going to select all of these. I'm going to come up to my align, and I'm going to distribute them vertically. Oops, whoa, that did not work like it typically does. Oh, it's because I accidentally had selected that circle. So now this should work better. So let's vertically align them. There we go. So now that's even. Do I like that? I don't know. I think I want more space at the top. Let's try this again. And this is like literally how I design any file that I make. It's literally just I try something, then I look, and then I look and see if I like it or not. So now we just need to come in here and align up these edges. I always put my shiplap lines like on the cut path or a little bit past. Also, the dog is going crazy outside. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But so we'll see. So we're just gonna keep bringing these out. Okay, and then this last but not least. Oh, they're hiding in the basement. Oh, that's so sad. All right, so we got those, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to group these lines. Oops, but not select the circle, just so that they don't move around on me too much. So let's zoom in, right? So here's my engraved line, and engraving these 4 lines on this circle will probably take about like 5 minutes. But if you were to score the line, if you were to score it just like this, it would do these 2 lines really close together, but you would be able to see Hey, Lisa, what's up? You would be able to see that gap in the middle, and I don't like that. So that's why, like I was saying earlier, I always do this. But if you wanted to do that fake engraved line, you can just take your line tool, right? And we'll give it a stroke of, let's say, 1 point. Oh, that's, yeah, 1 point, right? And so you can do it a couple different ways. Let me just zoom in so we can really see what we're doing. So you can click on this, right? And we can drag like really close together, right? And so you can have that. Obviously, you would want it a little thinner. But what some people will do is they'll take these lines and then they will just butt them up right against each other. And then that will be their engraved line. But I kind of don't like that. I know it's like a quicker way to do it. Personally, I just do the solid shape and it's not been an issue for me. But yeah. But yeah, okay, so we have our circle backer now, and let's see, I think we should make this 4 inches. Typically, when I am designing the tiered tray sets, I'll do the pieces, but the little signs between 4 or 5 inches. I don't know, Katie, what size do you typically do? Oh, you do that too? Is trying to save on engraved time. Are you saying you're trying to save on engraved time? Because if you're trying to save on engraved time, then definitely just do the three stroke lines stacked on top of each other, and that should save some time. Lisa, how are you doing? What's new with you? Yeah, so I'm going to make the circle 4 inches. All right. You do the draft engrave. I have not even thought to do that. I just leave it on whatever the default is for the settings. I'll have to give that a try for sure. And then I'll let you know what I think about it. But all right, so now let's move on to the square. And I'm going to make the square 5 inches. Right now it's a little over 5 inches. Well, I did a pretty good job. I would just like to toot my own horn of getting these in the general ballpark correct size, because this was 5.9 inches and I wanted it to be 5. Oh, nice, Lisa. Very cool. Is it pictures for some Instagram? I liked I think it was you that posted the luggage tag that you did, right? With like the bling and stuff. I'm pretty sure it was you. If it was very cool. Okay, so we got this frame, and then I'm gonna just do the same thing. You know, like designing Glowforge files isn't super exciting, I guess, because it's kind of just the same operations in repeated steps, right? So we're gonna do another offset path. I'm gonna click on this path, but first I'm gonna hide the fill behind it, and I'm gonna make this red because that's what I want to cut. Yeah, okay, it was you. I was pretty sure it was you. Yeah, I thought it was super cute. So I don't want, so the automatic path offset, because you're doing an offset, it's going to put the shape on the outside. But for this one, I don't want it that way. I don't want it to be on the inside. So I'm just going to hit my down arrow, and you can see now we go into the negatives. And that is going to give me an inner offset. I don't know what size I want. I think that's good. So I think we'll do 8. Okay. Thank you, Katie. Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the things I've noticed in the Cricut community. From what I'm noticing, it seems like in the Cricut community, for whatever reason, the logical next step up is to go from the Cricut to the Glowforge, which I think is a little bit crazy because the Glowforge is amazing and you can make great things, but just that the fact that the Glowforge at the minimum is like $3,000 and that is like the next step that people with Cricuts are taking, that just seems kind of crazy to me. you know, especially because the Cricut is so cheap. Well, not cheap, but like a low price point to jump into. And then there's all these people that were in the Cricut world that are now in Glowforge, and they're kind of struggling with seeing how, like, hey, this SVG that I use on my Cricut doesn't work on my Glowforge. And so that's why I think a month ago or 2 months ago, I did a video of how to convert a Cricut SVG into a Glowforge file, because I just saw so many people be frustrated with that. And I was like, someone needs to explain things. And I don't know why more people in the Glowforge community aren't explaining that to other people. So that's kind of a bummer. So that's why I've been trying to kind of broaden things for people too, just to let them know. But yeah, sorry, I just went off on that tangent. Yeah, let's see. Right. Yeah, and then also, thank you, Katie. Also, one of my biggest pet peeves too is people saying that whatever SVG they're selling is Glowforge ready, because that's not the case always. You can't just assume that what works well on the Cricut is going to work well on the Glowforge. Now, granted, some Cricut SVGs work perfectly on the Glowforge, especially if it's like text. Perfect, right? You could easily import that and you're good as gold. But it's just like when it starts to get more complex shapes and different colors, that's when I'm like, guys, come on. Like, I feel like you're just tricking people now. But also, too, the issue is, too, I think the people who make the SVGs just don't know. But okay, so now for this one, for the rectangle, right? This is now our frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and hold Option and make a copy of that outer frame. So now we have this background, and now we have our frame on top of it. So now these will be two separate pieces, and we glue them on top of each other. And tangents are good. Watch time. All right. Maybe we'll start story time with Ashley or something. I got some crazy stories. You would be surprised, because for like, how old am I? I am 29. So for like 10 Christmases, I did caroling at our like LA Union Station train station from like 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. every morning. And oh my goodness, some of the stories I have from that are insane. Like, first of all, nothing brings you the Christmas spirit like hearing carols being played while people are being arrested in the train station and just acting crazy, and fun times. So maybe I do need to start a segment soon on story time with Ashley. Actually, me and my friends, whenever we would carol there, if we noticed that someone was getting arrested, which was typically a homeless person, which was a bummer, and we caught it in time, we would stop whatever song we were playing and we would immediately start playing The Grinch. So that's just one way for us to have fun. But okay, back to this. So now we have our back and we have our top. But I like to try to make this look a little bit more fancy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some fake mitered corners. So I've just selected the line segment tool, and I'm going to get my blue color. And I'm just going to draw from point to point. And then so now when we score that line, it's going to look like we were super technical and we cut out these super little baby mitered corners. So then we can just do this to all four sides. Katie, have you designed many tiered tray sets? But yes, Katie, I'm like really hoping I can hit that margin, because I have been stuck at like between 3,100 and 3,200 literally for like 4 months. It keeps like fluctuating because it's based on the whole year. So then if I lose like a month from last year where I just had like, for whatever reason, ridiculous views, then I lose that and then it jumps down. And so, Lisa, you need to take a Illustrator course ASAP. Well, they are Illustrator seems very intimidating, but it's a really powerful tool, especially for creating obviously your own SVGs and your own cut files and stuff. But if you ever need help or have any questions, I will be more than happy to help you, and I'll try my best. Obviously, I don't have all the answers, but I will do my best to help you out. Okay, and then we got this last one here. Whoa, whoops. I did not want to draw a circle. So look at this last corner here. Oh, Katie, just doing your own thing. Yeah, I feel you on that. Decorating them is super hard. I typically force my sister to do it for me for the photo because I mostly make them because I want to sell the files. Because that's one of the things I really enjoy about Glowforge is making the files, and I think that's partly just because I'm a graphic designer. So I have a lot of fun with that. So I always make her do the decorating. I have a whole list of different tiered tray theme sets that I want to do. I've made some one-offs. I want to do a Friends set because a lot of people that I know personally super love Friends, and so I just think it'd be fun to make a bunch of sets and send it to them as a little DIY kit. Oh yeah, Udemy. That's right. Katie learned it on Udemy. Man, sorry guys. Rebel is really struggling today. This dog. Okay. I get so distracted. This is why I don't do lives very often. But so what I want to do is I want to group these 4 little lines together just so that I don't accidentally move them. And sometimes I don't always like to go around, and select each one. So what you can do in Illustrator, which is really cool, I'm not sure if you know this or not, Katie, but one of the things you can do is, so I've selected one of these, right? And we can see that over here we have a blue stroke. So if I want to select all the rest of them, I can come up here to select, and I can go to same, and then you can choose a bunch of different things. You can click same appearance, same fill and stroke, or same fill color, same stroke color, stroke weight. So I'm going to do stroke color. And so now you can see that has grouped all of them. However, I also forgot I did this one blue. But so if I just hold shift and click it, then I'm good. And now that selected all 4 of those points in a split second. And then now I'll hit Command G to group those. And then now if I move one, they'll all move, and then that will be easier to get them back in place. You think the French one would sell really well? Yeah, I made one file for that set so far, and it's a You're My Lobster sign. And those have sold pretty decently for me on Etsy. But I just need to take the time to go and finish designing the set. I don't know. I just get distracted. It's a mix of being distracted and also a mix of being lazy. But okay, so that is grouped together. And I think for the rectangle, I think I also want to do the fake shiplap. And I'm just going to delete that. No. I think I was going to try and just copy and paste that, but I think it was going to make more work for me. So I will just drag one of them over, is what I will do. You got a lot of Etsy love. Yes. I know I've been so appreciative of that with the cup holders. And that was something too, I didn't intend to really sell that. When I first got a Cricut, one of the first projects I did was I made a cup for a friend of mine. Oh, okay, cool. I must have missed that. I definitely, yeah, I missed that for sure. I gotta figure out how to turn on YouTube notifications because I never get notified when like anybody gets a new video or goes live. But so that cup holder, I was just like, oh man, my cup keeps rolling. And then when I looked it up of what people do to stop it, the most common thing was people like just rolled up a towel. And I was like, that's dumb. I don't know. Just in my mind, I was like, that's super dumb. So I literally I went into Fusion 360 for like 10, 15 minutes and designed the little cup holder. And I printed it out. And then I think I posted it on Facebook maybe. And someone was like, oh, are you selling that? I was like, no. And then I posted it. And then it just like kind of blew up. And so like I was very fortunate. And that is definitely, that one item is my ultimate like bestseller on Etsy. Like I'm sure more than half of my sales on Etsy is for that cup holder. So it was like kind of a happy accident, I guess I would say. So, and then, yeah, it's just like, it's one of those things where you're just trying to make life easier for yourself. And then it ends up being like a good idea. My family were like, you need to like patent that like pronto. And I was like, I would, except I think the design is too generic to patent it. But you did not tell me that your husband builds lightsabers. How have we not talked about that? Dang. That's super cool. That's cool. That makes me glad that we're friends. That's been like one thing I've wanted to print like for a really long time. And like I want to design like my own kind of custom lightsaber like hilt, but then I'm just trying to figure out, do I want to design the hilt only and just have it be like a standalone thing, or do I want to go that whole extra mile to where I get it so that I can put all the electronics in it and do the like LEDs and everything. Yes, you need to send me some pictures of that. I'm excited. Yeah, I love Star Wars. So eventually one day I want to do what's it called? A lightsaber. So I'm just going to take this frame layer and put it on top of this one just so I can kind of see where that frame ends so that I can position my shiplap. Let's see. And then I'll do the same thing where I line, vertically space it. I'll group those lines. And then I can go like this. Oops, I clicked the wrong thing again. I don't want this layer there. Oops. Align. It's because I did not group the shiplap lines. Oh, nice. Electronics is like not my strong suit. I want to get better at it though. Like I'm really bad at soldering wires. I really struggle. And that's one thing I want to get better at because I want to do more projects that involve electronics. All right, we have our shiplap backer for the rectangle. And then if we line these up, we can see what it looks like, and that's what it would look like. So they said, have you used your acrylic ruler yet? But I think you bought the acrylic ruler, right? I could be wrong. Maybe it was someone else. Let's see. Marcus, what's up, dude? How are you? I'm not doing any 3D print design today. I'm doing laser designing. I saw, Marcus, I saw that you went to, was it IRF or MRF? I can't remember which one is which acronym. How was that? Was that fun? Oh, Lisa, that's awesome. I'm glad you like it. I'm always worried about the stuff I sell on Etsy, if like people are going to use it and then hate it. So like anytime I see that I've gotten feedback on Etsy, I get so nervous about it. 9 times out of 10 it's fine. But like someone bought one of my 3D printed pen blings and gave it like a 2-star rating, and they're like, this is dumb. The idea was good, but the execution was poor. And then it just like crushed my soul a little bit. But I don't know. I know you can like reply publicly to those ones, and I might do it because what he was saying sort of wasn't true. You just have to go about it a different way. But I don't know if I want to open that can of worms where I reply to it, because then I think they can like reply to that. Oh, Lisa, that would be so fun. If you guys do that live, be sure to let me know so that I can watch it. Oh, okay, so you went to Murph. Nice. Marcus, that's so cool. I want to go to one of those so bad. Like, I wish they had one in the West Coast, because I think right now it's just the East Coast and the Midwest, right? I don't know. Maybe one of these years I'll make it. Do I follow my dogs? Think I'm crazy. I do not. Should I follow them? Let me look it up. All right. Everyone on the live stream, I'm sorry. I need to go to Instagram and follow this dog account. Give me one moment. My dogs think I'm crazy. Think I'm crazy. There's my dogs think I'm crazy too. Oh, Earth was canceled? Oh no. Let me see. Oh, I'm so crazy. Okay. My dogs think I'm so crazy. Was it canceled, Marcus? Was it canceled because of the pandemic? Oh, dang. Okay. I mean, that's a lot to read, but I definitely will check that out after the live stream. Yeah, like I think with the feedback I get, like it's a totally fair system and you got to let people know, if there is something wrong with the product. But sometimes I do feel like when people shop with a small business, they're just like ruthless and like to the point of where, because they are a small business, it could kind of destroy them. But I'm like, people go to McDonald's every day and McDonald's can get the entire order completely wrong and people like won't say anything. So like, why won't you say something? Like, why can't you have that same reaction for when you buy something from a small business, or even just be like a little bit nicer about it? Okay. Yeah, I would probably assume it was the COVID-ness, the pandemic that canceled it. I don't know. Who like is in charge of that as a whole? Because I want to start petitioning to get one of those events in the West Coast. Okay, let's see here. So now we have our square. The square we will make 4 inches since everything else besides the circle is 5 inches. So let's just go to transform. And we will do 4 inches. And I'm going to make this line the red cuts. And I don't know. I don't know if this one I want to put any kind of border on it. I don't know. What are you guys thinking? We can put like the little fake mitered corner borders on it, or no, or we can have a border with no mitered corner, or we can even just have like a chunky border. I think for the square, I'm not going to put shiplap on it though, since I've already put shiplap on the circle and the rectangle. I guess what we could do, I don't know. We can maybe do kind of like a fake, is it chevron pattern? Is the triangle ones the chevron pattern? I can't remember. Do the chunky border? Okay. Why can I not think of what this pattern is called? Chevron? No. Chevron? No. I don't know. I'm struggling with what this is called today. Whoa. Let me just distribute these evenly. Chevron. Okay. I was like, I'm losing my mind over here. Good to know. Okay. I don't know. But maybe does it need a pattern? Let's just start with the chunky border. How about that? Move this off the screen a little bit. I'm going to drag and click Option to make the copy so that we have the backer. And then now we can go back to Object, Path, Offset Path. Let's see. What do we think in 25? I think that looks pretty good and chunky. What do you guys think? I don't know. I like it. I think I'm just going to hit OK. Any objections? I'm going to hit OK. All right, I'm hitting OK. I think maybe we should leave off the mitered corners, yeah? Just keep it chunky. I don't know. I kind of want to make this pattern. I don't know. I don't get. I'm really. What am I trying to do? I don't even know what I'm trying to do. Let's just close the shape off. I feel like that will help me. I'm going to delete this shape. I don't like this shape. Oh, I'm thinking herringbone. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm confusing chevron and herringbone together. I don't know. I mean, we can do like a hexagon one too. I feel like I'm having, I don't know. I'm like struggling with what I want to do with this square one. Maybe. I don't know. I really don't know, Katie. Oh, I forgot. I'm supposed to be calling you S, Katie. How did I let that slip? So I want to round the corners of these little hexagons. And what do I want to do? I want to go to path? No, I want to go to, oh shoot, what do I want to go to? I want to go to stylize. And I want to go to round corners. There we go. So Katie, I don't know if you know, let me do that again, because I know you use Illustrator. So like if you want to have, you know, like a rounded square or whatever, or rounded corners on here, select it, go to Effect, Stylize, Round Corners. And then you can kind of just like mess with it. You know, you can go crazy. Like that's a little much. I kind of like 6 though. Oh, Marcus, I am sorry. Let me zoom out. I don't know if you have seen the kind of like farmhouse style tiered tray sets. They typically have like some kind of mug with like a dumb quote on it, you know, some flowers, and then like 4 to 5 little miniature signs, like, and they're all different themes. You know, like I've seen farmhouse themed ones, I've seen Disney themed ones, like Christmas themed, and typically there's like a rectangle shape, a square shape, a circle, and then this like tag is very popular. And so I am just creating the backer shapes for the tiered tray set that I'm going to design and cut them on the Glowforge. So if like these files look kind of crazy, it's because I'm color coding it for the Glowforge. Sorry, I should have caught you up when you first jumped in. David Allen, you can pull in from the little circles in the corner that appear when the shape is selected too. Oh, that is true. That is true. I forgot about that. See, that's what I love about Illustrator. There's like 4 different ways that you can do each task. Okay, see you, Lisa. Thanks for stopping by. Yes, I will post this once it's done. So if you feel like watching it later, feel free to do so. But thanks for stopping by and watching. Right, let's zoom in here. Oh, yeah. Oh, I totally forgot about that. Wow. Thank you for the reminder, David. Layla, what is up? You missed the beginning part. But I'm not done yet. I was just saying goodbye to Lisa because Lisa had to go. She said G to G, so she gots to go. So, okay. So I'm thinking it might be fun. What's up, Layla? So I think it might be fun to kind of do like a little honeycomb thing. I don't know. I don't know why I want to put a pattern in that square so badly, but I feel like it doesn't need it. But let's just see. Let's just see what happens. Layla, you missed the part where I was confusing what chevron and herringbone patterns were. Whoa. Oops. Okay. All right. Well, let's get this in here. I'm just going to eyeball this. I think that looks fine. Yeah, I think that's good. We will group this together. Good. I am glad I am not the only one that gets that confused. See, I don't know. I just feel like it could be cool. Kind of like, I'm thinking like kitchen backsplash, you know? I think that's what I'm thinking of right now. I don't know. Let's just go for it. And if I end up hating it, I can always just hit the delete button. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. Is that too far apart though? I feel like now my eyes are betraying me. My eyes are betraying me. That's for sure. But I think it could be cool. I haven't really seen a pattern like this on tier tray set. But if I'm doing this, it kind of reminds me of like honeycomb. So we can either do like maybe a bee theme, or we can even just do like a very generic like what's it called? Farm theme, maybe. I don't know. I guess that's something oops, I did not want that part. I guess that's something we can decide. What theme should this even be? Uh-oh, I see a mistake. Oh no. I gotta zoom in and do this then. Let's see. I think, that's pretty close. Ugh, I hate the snap feature. There we go. And you know what? It is what it is. It's gonna stay that way forever now. Okay. Do I ever need help from a professional graphic designer, or do you all like to do it all on your own? Well, I am a professional graphic designer. I went to art school and I graduated with a bachelor's degree in graphic and web design. So clearly, I guess this is not showing that. But if I ever need help on like web design, I'll ask like some classmates from school. Because the school I went to, you could either do graphic design. So basically, the degree program was graphic and web design, and then you either had an emphasis on graphic or web. So there was a lot of classes where like the graphic major and the web majors were like kind of mixed, but then we eventually would break off into the more dedicated ways. And so like I still have some friends. So if I need any like web design help, I'll just have a friend do it. Because even though like I was taught the basics of it, it's just a hassle and I don't like to deal with it. Thank you, Layla. Yes. I have been in the design industry for like 5 years now. Yeah, I do know that you can do this as a pattern, but for something this small, I just kind of feel like there's really no point. But because I'm not going to want to use this again personally. But yeah. But thank you for pointing that out. So are you a graphic designer as well, David? All right, so we got this. Let's group this together. And then I will just drag this out like that. Oh, I forgot these other. I forgot these. Okay. All right, and so I'm just creating a copy by holding Option and clicking. No, it's all good, David. No, don't worry about it. It's all good. Oh, very cool. David, I'm sure you could get a lot of business though by people who kind of only like sort of, because a lot of people in the Glowforge community use like Inkscape, which I personally hate Inkscape. So I'm sure you could probably get some decent business doing that. Oops. But yeah, no, I definitely appreciate the tips that you are handing out. Because too, like sometimes when I've done something for such a long way, I like forget about the other ways to do it. However, though, a Glowforge is super fun. So if you ever, so I don't know, you should maybe get one day. They're a lot of fun to have. Oops, what am I doing? Okay, we got that one. I feel like I've just done all this and I'm not gonna like it. Yeah, Layla, they are so versatile. However, Layla, on the bright side for you, considering we live about 10 minutes away from each other, if you ever want to make something, I got you. Okay. We've got our hexagon pattern. I don't know. I don't know. What are we thinking? What is the chat thinking? Yeah. So Layla, you ever have an idea or inspiration? Hit me up. I don't know if Katie is still here, but Katie, me and Layla found out we are like super close. Yeah, you like it, Marcus? Yeah. Yeah, I think Yeah. Okay. Oops. I'm gonna click this part. Make sure it's at the front. Honeycomb. Yeah. Oops. Man, I am like, my brain is not working tonight. I kind of went to bed late. I went to bed at like 3:30, which is like my own fault, you know? But then I had to wake up kind of early today. And so that was kind of dumb of me. Oops. Okay. So here is our, yeah, the grouted tile. I do like that. Oh, you stepped away for a minute, Katie. Yeah, yes, David, you have heard it in this stream. If you need help, reach out to David. David, if you have like a Twitter handle or something, feel free to post it. Katie, what you missed was me saying that me and Layla found out that we only live like 10 minutes away from each other. Let's see, what else? The top is missing the grouts. Oh, it is. Dang it. Okay, I'll fix that. Good catch, Marcus, though. Good catch. Yeah, 10 minutes. So that's pretty cool. Do I find it hard to design for Glowforge or pretty easy to do? Me, personally, I find it extremely easy. But I think that is also because I'm a graphic designer. But I do know there are some people out there who like really struggle. And for me, like what I was talking about earlier, Layla, was that me and Katie were mentioning how a lot of people who have a Cricut, for whatever reason, the next natural step for them is to go up and move to the Glowforge. And like to me, that seems kind of crazy because with the Glowforge, the way that you make the most money is by designing your own files. That way, like you're the only one making that thing. Because like I sell a bunch of Glowforge files, you know, but if you have like 100 people all selling the same keychain, your sales aren't going to be that great. So like the real power and money lies in designing your own files. And I think people who jump up to the Glowforge from the Cricut really struggle with that aspect of it. So I think there are a lot of people in the Glowforge community that do struggle with that. What am I doing? Okay, I'm just going to select the little grout here at the bottom, and then I'm going to make a copy and put it up on top. Cool. Didn't realize there's a market for files. Yeah. Yep. For sure. It's very similar. I think with the Glowforge community, though, there's a lot less of like stealing files as there is in like the 3D printing world. So I think people, I don't know, but I personally have not had a issue. Okay, what am I trying to do? I lost my train of thought. Did I already make the copy? No, I have not. Have I? Wait. Shoot. I'm not sure what I did. I distracted myself. I messed myself up, guys. Grout the top. Okay, that's what I was doing. Layla says, that's my concern. I love all the things it makes, and SVGs are easy, but I'm pretty sure it's a different ball game. It is, yes, to a certain extent. But, you know, if you need help, well, first of all, you need help. We got David in here who is offering his services. But if you needed just some like kind of quick help or whatever, I'm more than happy to help you with that. Should you ever decide to get a Glowforge. And, oh man. And if you do get a Glowforge, and if you use either my link or even like Katie's link, you can get up to something like $500 off. It's just things like how to connect and thinking about your materials and how they would hold up. There's so many things with the Glowforge where you really have to think about, if these two lines are close together, it's going to make it like really thin and fragile. So like at Christmas time, I've seen so many horror stories of people being like, I made all these custom ornaments and like every single one broke. Now I'm out like $600. So like that sucks. So like you got to kind of think about stuff like that. But okay, so we got our little egg backer here. And we got our chunky monkey top. I forget, did we decide, are we putting the fake mitered corners on this one? I don't remember. I don't remember what we decided. Someone can refresh my memory. Nope, leave them off. Okay. So you kind of see how this would look. Oh man, what am I doing? I'm like messing myself up. You guys, I'm tired. Let me just group this all together. And I gotta clean this file up a little bit too before I can bring it into the Glowforge. But yeah, that's where we're at. All right, but also did we decide, is this gonna be a farmhouse set, or is it gonna be a bee set? Or I guess it could just be a kitchen set, since this is kind of like a tile. I know, Katie, gosh, it's all your fault. You keep distracting me. The thing is, though, like, it's hard because I like to be distracted in the sense of I like talking to people, but at the same time, then I forget what I'm doing. That's why I don't understand how people like will have like a Zoom meeting with like a bunch of their friends and like also work simultaneously, because I would just want to be like so focused on the conversation and having fun, and then I would never get anything done. Do I make everything a compound path before you save as an SVG? And how about grouping? Curious what you have found. So I personally ungroup everything because typically it's fine if it's grouped, but there's just been once or twice where something I've had grouped, even though it was different colors, Glowforge made it all like one shape for whatever reason. And so I just got into the habit of ungrouping everything. Now, granted, like this is grouped right now. So like before I would save it out. Like these lines, the engraved lines, like I'll keep those grouped. That is totally fine. But I will leave it ungrouped from the cutout circle. I'm not sure what you mean about the compound path. Are you saying like, do I click on this and then go up to object and then compound path and then make? Is that what you're saying? I'm not sure if that's what you mean. But if that's what you meant, I don't do that. I don't know. It's never occurred to me to do that. Should I be doing that? I don't know. Do you have the secret? No, you have to do that for some SVGs. So, okay. I did not know that. So, yeah, I don't make anything a compound path. However, in the past, I have always saved out my designs as a PDF because sometimes the SVGs will resize themselves, and if you don't catch it, then your whole entire your whole entire project can get messed up. And I know you can like change the settings of how you save out the SVG, but I just found it so much easier just to save it as a PDF, because then I know for a fact it's going to be the correct sizes and everything. Maybe on the Cricut. Yeah. So, but obviously for the files I sell, I will include the PDF and the SVG. That way people can go in and make edits if they need to make edits. I think there was another question up in there that I missed. Text, do you just expand? Yeah, so for text, what I do, let's say I do home, right? The word home. And I want it in like, I don't know, like a chunky font, right? Chunky. So we have this. So what I will do is I will just go up to, yes, yeah, work smarter, not harder, for sure. So what I always do is I'll either right click and click create outlines, or you can go up to type and click create outlines. That is what I do. And then I can show you a tip of what I do for like script fonts. So let's do home, but we'll put it in like hello, right? So as we can see, so so if you like doing a script font for these like tier trays, it's going to be pretty small typically, right? Like, so that fits this size, right? But so if we cut this out on the laser, I don't know who was asking about it earlier about things being like fragile, but this would be where it would be so fragile, because with the laser curve and everything, super thin. So what I will do is I will create outlines, and then you need to connect all the shapes together. And so I just click unite, and then now that is one singular path. But what I do is, and I don't know if other people do this too, I go to object, and then I go to path, and then I just go to offset path again. However, we don't want a minus. And whoa, so 10 is way too much. I think probably typically like 2. I do it to where I can still see the what is it? What are these called? Like the inside of the things. So like I'll do 3 points, right? So now I'll click that, and then I'll just merge all those shapes together. Of course, it's not working because I'm trying to show you on a live stream. That always happens. Oops. There we go. So now we can see this is now the one path. And then I'm going to just delete these little extra bits that got put in there. So, because I hit it, that's why I couldn't select it. So just select these and then click delete. So that's what I do to kind of make it a thicker script font. So I don't know if that helps you or not, but that's what I do. Ooh, speaking earlier too about Etsy feedback, I just got a notification that I got feedback. Oh, how funny. It was Lisa that sent me the feedback. Okay. So that's how I do that. Let's see. What else? Where were we at? Okay, so we have some decent shapes. I feel like I need more shapes, though. I feel like I'm not going to have enough things to put on my tiered tray. Object, expand, and then merge them. Oh, okay. Expand, yeah. Yeah, see, and that's just another way of like, there's a couple ways to do everything. You know? Katie, I don't know if you, what was I gonna, and what was I just gonna tell you? I don't remember what I was going to tell you. I've lost the thought completely. Or add a stroke, outline stroke, then merge. Yep, see, there you go, right there. 3 different ways to get the same effect. And I think that's kind of the cool thing about it, you know, because what, like, one way might be easier for some people and another is more difficult, you know? Let's see, what else? I want to make like one more, but I don't know of what. I don't know. Have we decided the theme? I don't know. I guess. I guess we can make. I don't know. Home. Should it be the home theme? Oh, the double lines. Yeah, that is annoying. I've had so many friends too who have bought Glowforge files online, and then they're like, "Man, why is this going to take like an hour to engrave?" And it's because there's like a whole double path on like every single path in the file. And then so like I typically end up having to clean up the file for them, which gets super tedious and annoying. Or we can make this like a summer set too. Oops. I don't know. Maybe a summer set. Maybe we can make like a little ice cream cone. I don't know. I think it'd be fun. If we do summer, then we can have the round say like hello summer with the little shiplap in the background. And then we can do like a flamingo here on the tag. Okay, Layla, I mentioned it in the beginning. So I am making a tiered tray set. I don't know if you have seen those before on like Pinterest. And typically on these tiered tray sets, there's like a specific theme and there's like a coffee cup on there. It's usually one of those like Ray Dunn, I think is what it's called, the brand, mugs on there that says like adventure or like home or whatever. And then there's like some flowers on there, and then there's typically like 4 or 5 of these like little miniature wooden signs. Or like and like a little banner too. We can make the banner shape as well, I guess. And so I am just making all of the backers for the wooden signs because we've still yet to think of a theme to put for this. So far, the contenders were home, name shame, shame them, yeah. Home or bee or summer, but I think I kind of want to do summer because now I kind of want to make like a little ice cream cone, and then we can put like a little flamingo on one of the tags. So I think that could be fun, and then we can save the tile background for another set. I think maybe. David, yeah, it's ridiculous, and I think part of it too just comes from like people just not knowing, obviously. You know, and then they think like, oh, it worked for them on their Glowforge, and they might not have noticed that it cut that area twice, or they just think that's normal and that's how the Glowforge should work. But yeah. And so it's hard not to get like frustrated, you know. However, I do get a little salty when I see someone who like I know for a fact their files like aren't great to where there's like double lines or something like that, or they're just not like finished properly, and they've sold so many of them, and then like my like file that I've spent so much time on like is just sitting there like collecting dust. Which maybe, Layla, on Saturday I can bring some of these and we can paint them. So I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. I'm meeting up with Layla on Saturday to do some stuff, some crafty things. And of course, Starbucks. That's going to be a part of our thing. Okay, so I want a second tag for my tray. Okay, let's make a little popsicle. I've decided. I'm just gonna go with summer. That's the theme. I've decided. If anyone's super against it, speak now. Hello, summer, but we don't want. I want a fun font. I want DK Lemonade or whatever it's called. It's become one of my favorite fonts. DK Lemon Yellow Sun. Have you used this font before, Katie? It's really nice. All right. Sounds good, Layla. I'll bring some signs. Layla, do you like Friends? I don't know if you're here when we were talking about Friends earlier. So we make the outlines to this, and we can bring this over here. Get it a little bit bigger. I want to bring these closer together, which I should have made it the correct size before I converted them into a path. No, but it looks like Raydun. It does. It's very similar to Raydun. Yeah, because and then I think too when I go to photograph these tiered tray sets, I think I'm gonna just get like mugs from the Dollar Tree, and then like use vinyl of like this fake Raydun font. That's what I'm thinking. And then that way it looks like I'm all fancy and I have these Raydun mugs, but I really don't. All the time with logo. Yeah. David, you feel the pain. You feel it. You've lived it. Okay, let's just align this up like so. And then we can ungroup this. And then I'm going to make a copy of this text because this is going to turn into our score lines. So that we know, I mean, you could just eyeball it. I just like to be extra thorough, I guess. Oh, okay. I think I've been to Home Goods like twice, and I'm pretty sure it's because my sister like forced me to go. You haven't watched Friends in forever, but a lot of my audience likes it, so I should rewatch soon. Okay. Well, I will bring a special sign then for you to show your audience. Yeah, like I don't think I've ever seen the whole series of Friends completed. Like my sister super likes that show, and my grandma actually likes it too. And so I've only ever seen like I've just seen like random episodes. Like I think I've seen a lot of them, but I know for sure I've not seen like every episode. You just watched all 10 seasons? Nice. No, but like my favorite show to watch, like of all time, is The Golden Girls. And like I've seen every episode a bajillion times. Like I can quote that thing for days. For days on end. Oops. There we go. Okay. We got that. All right, now let's go on to making our little ice cream. I am going to use the rounded rectangle tool. And then let's just get the corners down a little bit. Oops, I meant up a little bit. That's what I want. I want it to be like basically a circle. There we go. Okay, we got our little stick of the popsicle. I need some room to draw this. I need to move some stuff out of the way. Okay, we got the little popsicle part. Let's see. Should we make this skinnier? Does that make it look more like a popsicle shape? Let's get these corners a little more rounded so it looks more like a popsicle. This might be a little too big of a stick. All right. Thanks for hanging out, Katie. Good to see ya. Nope, wrong way. Okay. I'm just gonna make this smaller. Okay. So we got that going. And then what I want to make on this one, I want to make the, you know how like the popsicles have the little indents in the middle? I don't know. I don't know if there's like a technical name for them. But I want to make those. So we can align these. And then we can group them. And then we can center everything here. And then we can also center it with the stick because I forgot to select the stick. Okay. So now we have these 3 parts. And what I want to do is I'm going to make a copy of these because I need there to be a backer piece. And so we're just going to use the Pathfinder and make that all one piece. And then so I don't need this little bottom popsicle portion anymore. And this will be the cut lines. And then this will be a cut line too. And then that way, when I cut this out of MDF, the backer will already be like the popsicle stick color. And then when I cut this out, I can paint this top portion. And then because these inner pieces are red too, those will come cut out completely. And then I can paint those a different color as well. So you can see this is like, that's what it looks like. And so we have our popsicle. We have that one, but I think we can also make a different one as well. So I guess I was premature when I got rid of this little stick part. Actually, we can just reuse both parts of that actually. Because this one I want to be kind of a similar shape, but I want to round off the top. So I think this will be the last one, and then I'll stop streaming just because it's already been just about an hour and a half, I'm thinking. Because sometimes, like you can just get into the zone, and then you kind of like just forget everything of what's happening in life. Okay, so obviously we want this to be a little shorter. And then we can make these a little more round, like that maybe. I think that's pretty good. And then we can merge these shapes. And then get this back. Oops. Okay, so we just need to bring this one up a little bit. So that it kind of matches. And then we can just scale it up to match. Like so. And then we can grab this. And then, so here's like 2 of our ice cream shapes. I think I might go back and make the stick portion a little bit smaller. But, so let's save this. And I think I'm going to call it there because it's been an hour and a half. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me while I did this. I had a lot of fun. I might do this again, next month. I might try to do a live stream once a month, but we'll see. Let me know. Hopefully you learned a little something that you didn't know before. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. So, see you later.